Paetongtarn Shinawatra has officially been appointed Thailand's new Prime Minister. She's the country's youngest ever Premier and the second woman to hold the top job. Her rise follows a tumultuous week marked by the dismissal of her predecessor, Srettha Thavisin, and her father, ex-PM Thaksin Shinawatra's recent royal pardon. As she takes office, questions loom over how much influence her father will wield in her administration. Saksith Saiyasombut reports from Bangkok.
Within a span of a year, Thailand has now Prime Minister number 2 at the helm, and her name is Paetongtarn Shinawatra. In a ceremony on Sunday morning, Ms. Paetongtarn was given the royal command, confirming her endorsement as the head of the new Thai government and the order to form a cabinet of ministers. She is now the country's youngest Prime Minister and the second female after her aunt Yingluck, making her the third Shinawatra family member to assume office since her father Thaksin over 20 years ago. In her short speech after the command, she thanked His Majesty and the MPs that voted for her on Friday. She said that she will carry out her duty with an open heart to move the country forward.
ดิฉันจะส่งเสริมพัฒนาศักยภาพทักษะของคนไทยทุกคนและทำให้ทุกตารางนิ้วบนแผ่นดินไทยเป็นพื้นที่ให้คนไทยได้กล้าฝันได้กล้าสร้างสรรค์และได้กล้าที่จะกำหนดอนาคตของตัวเองได้
The presence of her father, the ex-Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, drew particularly a lot of interest, given that he was given a royal pardon just a day ago that effectively ended his parole early. Thaksin returned to Thailand almost a year ago after 15 years of self-exile, and while he was right away sentenced for abuse of power and corruption from his rule back then, he was released on parole just half a year later after spending that time in hospital instead of a prison cell. And with him now being effectively a free man, the question is not if, but how much Thaksin is going to influence the new government even more. After all, he is the patriarch of the ruling Pheu Thai party, which is led by his daughter Paetongtarn. Speaking to the media after the ceremony, Ms. Paetongtarn faced exactly that question multiple times.
I hope I can ask him for advice anytime that I want, but not all the time, 24/7 like that, because it's not possible. So I am my own person, and I have my own things and my own goals that I have to be achieved in the future. But of course, all the comments from him value to me, and yes, I just wish that I could work with everybody, and including my dad as well.
This caps off, for now, a turbulent 2 weeks in Thai politics that began with the dissolution of last year's election winner, the opposition Move Forward party, at the hands of the Constitutional Court. A week later, that same court then dismissed Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin for ethical misconduct in appointing an ineligible cabinet minister, which sparked off frantic and furious backroom negotiations for his successor that culminated in Paetongtarn Shinawatra now becoming Thailand's 31st Prime Minister. But all this political upheaval is not making the economic challenges that the ruling Pheu Thai party is promising to fix any smaller. And also, there's a growing conflict brewing in the background between all the political factions, mainly Thaksin and his rivals that he made a deal with that allowed him to return to Thailand in the first place. So all this could not only upend his daughter's new government, not only Thaksin's own legacy, but Thai democracy as a whole. Saksith Saiyasombut, CNA Bangkok.